Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Robert Greenblatt here. Today I'm going to share a story. This is real estate stories after all. I'm going to share a story. Don't ever do this. If you're buying a home, don't ever do this. So we're going to start by saying just a reminder, if you're in the home buying process, it's very, very important to maintain your credit at the status quo. So if the mortgage professional has approved you for X number of dollars, definitely not a good time to go and buy a new car or open up a new credit card or take an existing credit card and run the balance up for any reason, because that impacts your credit. So I always tell people that like in the event something happens with your vehicle and you need to buy a car, before you do anything like that, always check with your mortgage professional before you do anything. If anything, you want to pay down some things, but you also have to watch your reserves. So there's a lot of pieces there. So rule of thumb, anything that affects your credit, don't do anything without checking with your mortgage professional. So here's the story. One of the things that comes up a lot is, and I give people a real life example. I'll say, hey, you see an ad for interest-free financing on furniture, which we see those kind of things a lot, and you're buying a new house, it's very tempting. Let me go open that card and get some furniture all kind of primed up for my new house, which I'm closing on in a few weeks. Don't do that. Don't do that at all, because now your credit's getting run and it could mess everything up. What you can do is you can go to the furniture store, you can try the furniture, you can pick out furniture, you could perhaps even give them a small deposit to hold some furniture, but don't go down the credit road. Similarly with appliances, if you need some appliances for your new house and you see a great deal, don't do that either. This, what I'm about to share with you, is what actually happened recently. So in the process of purchasing a home, and of course in the process of selling a home, it is not uncommon. It doesn't happen all the time, but it is not uncommon for a seller to say, you know what, like, I don't really need to take that living room set and that kitchen set with me to my new house. It won't fit, or it just doesn't work for that. Would the buyer be interested in that? And it is not uncommon to connect those parties and let them negotiate a little something. I always tell people, look, I'm in real estate. I don't negotiate furnishings, but if you want to work it out, we'll connect you, seller and a buyer, and you guys figure it out, right? And then Venmo or whatever, they just work that out. That's not uncommon. It happens every once in a while. I had a transaction recently where those were the conversations. The seller didn't need the furnishings, and this home was magnificently furnished. I don't know her story. I was helping the buyer, so I don't know if the seller had another home. I suspect maybe she did. I'm not sure. And the buyer really needed furnishings. He really didn't have nearly enough furnishings for this home. So we made the match. We connected them. You guys work it out, no problem. I connected with the other agent. We shared contact information and they worked it out. So they arranged a time for the buyer to go to the house, walk through with the seller and figure it all out. In my career, what I'm about to share with you, I've never had this happen. Next thing I know, I get a phone call from the mortgage company and they say that, well, the buyer went to the house to negotiate furnishings, which I knew, no big deal. And from there, he went with the seller to the seller's place of business. The seller happened to own a furniture store. Yes. And had some kind of credit card available and wanted to give the buyer a great deal on some furniture. And the buyer proceeded to open up an account, or at least let the credit get run. So I've never, ever had to kind of prep a buyer for the concept of the seller might actually own a business for furniture and might want to work with you and give you a fair deal on furnishings. It's always about what's actually sitting in the house. So what are the chances of that? I don't know if any of you have ever experienced that. Fortunately, as soon as that happened, I explained to the buyer what he had done. We were literally supposed to close in about a week or so. The mortgage company always has the right to rerun credit, and he had no idea that that could be an issue. He kind of freaked. He reached out to the seller and said, you got to stop, you got to stop, you got to stop. I reached out to the seller's agent. I explained what happened. I'm like, you got to reach out to the seller and stop this process from happening. I don't know if the damage is done, but everyone goes into overdrive because all this work leading up to a closing could now be totally undermined by just the credit pull. Fortunately, it turns out it was a soft pull and it didn't impact the transaction. Don't get into that mud of soft pull, hard pull. Here's the rule of thumb. Don't do anything. Anything you do credit-wise could potentially destroy your real estate transaction. So that's my story for today, guys. If you like this content, please take a minute and like this video, subscribe to our channel. It really means a lot to us. If we can help you here in Southern New Jersey, we would love to. Our contact information is in the notes, as well as if you are interested in buying or selling anywhere in the United States, please let us know. We have a strong network of like-minded professionals. Thank you for watching.